Good morning, my darlings. Welcome to a new vlog. I don't think I've started a vlog from the dining room before. Maybe I have a little while ago, but definitely not recently. I have to be honest, this room feels a little bit unloved. You can hear there's an echo in here. It just still doesn't feel fully furnished, even though we've been living in this house for, gosh, like 19 months now, 20 months. We still haven't had this room decorated. One of the main reasons being it does have damp in this room, and we're kind of monitoring how that rises and falls with the rain levels outside. We've had to replace some of the guttering, but I'll show you in a second. Very boring, but I'll show you in a second how bad one of the walls is. And as a result of the cupboard often getting very damp, we have to pull everything out, which often means that the table in here becomes a bit of a dumping ground. Why was I even telling you about that? I don't know, but basically the reason I'm starting the vlog today in the dining room is because we have had a very exciting delivery. It actually arrived a couple of days ago. I've been putting off undoing it because there are a lot of bits, but it is a really lovely crockery delivery, and it was a humongous impulse buy. So if you watch to the end of Tuesday's vlog, you'll have seen that we had a roast dinner in here on Sunday. It was a very long vlog, but I'd always recommend watching to the end because I often feel like my vlogs get better and more wholesome towards the end. But yes, within that I did a really lovely tablescape. If I can, I'll pop a clip on the screen here, using some crockery that I really treated myself to in Daylesford lately, and that will still be our like special when I want to do a really beautiful tablescape crockery. But I don't know if it was an advert or just a post on Instagram. I follow a company called Burley Pottery. It's a UK-based ceramicist, I think that's what you call it, based up further north, not sure exactly where, maybe Yorkshire. But they released, I think it's called their Portuguese design in a green, and it's exactly what I've been looking for. So I did a humongous, I think it was 5 o'clock in the morning. In fact, I'm going to look at my order email. I'm pretty sure it's about 5 o'clock in the morning. Placed a ginormous order to basically have this entire set as our kind of everyday and usual crockery. It'll probably end up being our everyday stuff. At the moment, we still do like our brost and pro-cook stuff. So this will probably be used for like roasts and special dinner parties when we have more than 8 people, because we only have 8 of the Daylesford set. We'll just mix and match. It's very different. But anyway, let me actually just show you. You've been helping my chicken, Lynn, have you? Scratchy, scratchy. Okay, so this is the set here, very traditional English, well, I say English, to me this is like an English countryside house kind of crockery. If you've ever stayed at Soho House or Babington House, you might know that they have something very similar to this, but in blue. You'll often see pictures of people snuggled up with their blue porcelain mugs by the fireplace. I just think it's a really traditional pattern. This one's got birds and flowers, really gorgeous design. I'm pretty sure it's called the Portuguese design. So yes, I ordered quite high quantities of everything because I think it's a really good investment. And I know I throw that word around quite a lot, but I think it's a really, really useful thing to have, is a really beautiful crockery set. And so we've got some quite deep bowls here, which will be great for soups and things like that. This shape of bowl we find especially useful when we're cooking things like stir fries. What I'm going to cook for lunch actually will be perfect in things like this. Dinner plates. This is actually a smaller design. I think I might get, and look, I've got absolutely loads of them. How many did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of the big plates. I've probably got 12 of the small plates, 12 of the side plates, and then lots of the mugs as well. I can't remember exactly how many mugs I got. Charlie was actually looking on an antiques website and found from the same place that we got this, he found a top unit, which is really good for displaying crockery. So I think we might get that, but for now it's probably all going to live in this unit here. If it fits, I'm sure it will. So we've just got a little bit more unpacking to do of the various bits. Oh, so maybe it's called the Regal Peacock range. That's what this says on the bottom of the mug. But I absolutely love it. I loved it in blue, but as soon as I saw that it came out in green, that was the final straw for me to be like, yes, that is the crockery set that I would like to invest in. We've just left some of the table decorations in here, including the hydrangeas, which were drying out. You wouldn't actually be able to tell, but 2 of these blooms are fresh and 2 are already dried out. I can't even tell from looking, so that's dry, that's fresh. And what you basically want to do is get hydrangeas no lighter in colour than this, any lighter and they don't dry out nicely. The first few days you just leave them in like an inch of water, and by the time they've drunk all of that up, they should dry out really, really nicely. And then this foliage is a selection of preserved leaves from the Country Flower Company, and it's just really nice to have as room decoration or table decoration. I had a few more strands like this laid out on the table yesterday for our roast, and I think it looked rather lovely. Okay, darlings, it is lunchtime. The hair is scraped back, which means things are about to get serious here in the kitchen. So today I want to make something fairly nutritious and also immune boosting. So I wanted something with some nice seasonal veg and ginger, garlic, all the kind of things that will help us hopefully not get ill, basically. And I'm going to be making another recipe from the Half-Baked Harvest. You might remember I did her chai latte cupcakes probably about this time last year, and I often feature Half-Baked Harvest recipes on my Instagram stories because they are just very wholesome and hearty, but she's also got some nice healthier ones as well. So I'm going to be making what's called a pumpkin laksa, and I'm going to be making it in my fantastic perfect pot. So this is the latest addition to my kitchen to come from Our Place. Now you may remember a little while back I introduced you to my Always pan. This was the first thing that I had heard of from Our Place, and it has become my most used pan. I have this gorgeous spice colour, which I have the perfect pot in the matching colour now, and I literally use this for everything, whether it is just frying an egg, sauteing onions, making pasta dishes. There's a few really good recipe books actually where you can do one pot dinners, and this is perfect for that. It's a lot more lightweight than some of our other cookware, which for me just makes it so much easier to use. And then inside you've also got this little sieve or steaming basket, and it's got a non-toxic ultra non-stick lining. And when I featured this on my Instagram stories recently, a few messages came in asking about the longevity of the long stick. Well, I've been using this multiple times a week for probably about 4 or 5 months now, and it's still literally as non-stick as when I got it. I would say what you need to do is be really careful with how you're cleaning it. You can get these little sponges which are perfect. Don't use any metal utensils. I tend to just use the wooden sponge that it comes with, so just taking care of it will help the non-stick last a little bit longer. So the Always pan very much took the internet by storm with its many uses. So many different things you can replace just with the one pan. It's actually a really good housewarming gift. I have bought it for a few different friends for their housewarming gifts, and all of them now fully converted. But in the cottages, one of our first guests, they actually said, Josie, you need something a little bit bigger for if I want to boil pasta or just make a big soup, something like that, which because of the depth of the Always pan was not really easy to do. So they have brought out the perfect pot, and just like the Always pan, this really does replace a lot of the other things in your kitchen, whether it is what do they call it, a Dutch oven, a stock pot. I obviously just used it for things like boiling loads of potatoes, boiling pasta. I think it was Marco Pierre White, one of his best tips for cooking pasta was to do it in a pan bigger than what you think you need so the pasta doesn't touch each other, and a lot more water. So I've been doing my pasta in this recently. Design wise, again, it's a lot more lightweight than a traditional pan of this size. I've got it in the spice colour. It's got the very cleverly designed spoon with the little ridges in it, so it sits perfectly on the handle, and it has a very jazzy little trivet or tray inside, so you can actually crisp things up in here, which I think is absolutely amazing. We're gonna give it a little try, and it's still got that non-stick, non-toxic coating in here as well. I would say for me the weight or lack of this is one of my favorite parts of it, but also you might notice in the lid it's got these little straining holes. So what you can do is line them up. They've just thought of all these design details. Line them up with this little spout, so then it's a built-in strainer. You can put this, you can use this on your induction hob. For me, I can use it on my Aga, and then you can put it all straight in the oven as well, and it's the perfect size for, luckily just fits in our Aga. Anything bigger wouldn't fit, but this just fits in. So I can literally do so many different things in this, which does mean less washing up, which is very, very helpful indeed. And because it's so beautiful, I don't even bother, if I've got friends over, transferring stuff into a presentation dish. I think this is beautiful enough as it is, so I literally just take the lid off and serve whatever I've cooked in the pot that I cooked it in, which is very helpful. So I will leave the recipe that I'm going to be following linked down below, because it is straight from Half Baked Harvest. It's hopefully going to be a nice, kind of like a soup, but with some chunky pumpkin bits, some lentils, what else? You're meant to use broccoli, but I didn't have any, so I've gone into the garden and I've picked some kale. I've got some onions from the garden. Sadly, the pumpkins are not from my garden because mine's actually a little bit too big for this recipe. But I'll show you the various steps and let's get cooking. Something else which is really good about this is it's made of aluminium, so obviously that helps with it not being heavy, but it's also amazing for heat distribution, so you don't get like a really hot point where your onions burn or anything. I find that everything just cooks really nice and evenly in here. So I've started with some sesame oil, and now I'm going to pop in my onions, garlic and ginger. So I've got this on a medium to high heat. My onions, ginger and garlic are just softening up. Leave the little spoon on the spoon rest. And I'm adding in some veggie stock. And here's some I prepared earlier, adding in a few handfuls of chopped pumpkin. And now we just want this to cook for around 20 minutes, so I'm just going to pop the lid on, making sure that I line up this little hole with the spout. And we're just going to let that steam away for about 20 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 20 minutes. Okay, so while my pumpkin laksa is slowly boiling away on the cooler of my two Aga hob tops, I am going to do a nice little snack recipe with the pumpkin seeds that we extracted from the pumpkin flesh, because I don't like anything to go to waste. And I'm going to do this in my always pan. It goes without saying, I'm going to leave the always pan and the perfect pot linked down below. Similarly, this is made from aluminium, so it's got a nice even heat distribution, which is really important for what we're going to do right now. It's also got the little spout, so you don't get any mess. Handle here is heat resistant, looks beautiful, replaces lots of different things in your kitchen, so many reasons why I love using this. I actually haven't used it for pumpkin seed crisping up before, but I am positive it'll be perfect. So what I've done, here's one I made earlier. Got all my pumpkin seeds out of the flesh, and then rinse them so they don't have any little gooey bits stuck to them, and pop them on some kitchen towel just to help get rid of any liquid on them. And then I'm just going to pop them all straight in the pan. There we go. And just like popcorn, you can really decide whatever flavour you want to do your pumpkin seeds. I like mine to have a little bit of bite to them, a little bit of something. So I'm going to pop some chipotle chili flakes on. So what you want to do, I would always recommend a little bit of salt. So we've got some sea salt flakes, some olive oil. I think last year I did, I want to say cinnamon, or maybe it was just like a mixed spice. But I'm going to try chipotle chili flakes for these. And I'm going to put this on a fairly high heat just for a few minutes until they go golden and start to pop a little bit, because that means that they are done. So you can see they're starting to change colour, and you might be able to hear a few of them are starting to pop, just like popcorn. There we go. So this means that these are pretty much done. The pumpkin seeds are smelling good and nicely roasted and not burnt, which is the important thing. And now it's back to the pumpkin laksa. So what I've done is taken about a third of the soup and poured it into a blender. The spout on the perfect pot to make that nice and easy. Blended it all up and then added it back into the pot. And then on the heat again, I've added some soy sauce, some coconut milk, and some smooth peanut butter because I just love a slightly nutty taste. And now I'm just going to leave this, I've stirred it all in together, and I'm just going to leave this for about 8 to 10 minutes to slowly cook through. And during that time, I'm going to do all of my washing up. So of course I do always tweak these recipes just a little bit depending on what I've got in the garden. My baby been helping mummy in the kitchen, have you? I've had to bring their bed out here because they're so needy. They need to see what I'm doing at all times. So basically you'll notice that if you do click on the recipe from Half Baked Harvest, I have done a few things differently. Instead of rice noodles, I've added lentils because that's what I had in the cupboard. Instead of broccoli, I've added kale because that's what we had in the garden. And I didn't have any red pepper because my red pepper plant has disappeared. So, but I'm sure it'll still be delicious. And another swap, instead of doing the roasted crispy chickpeas, I'm just going to sprinkle some of the roasted pumpkin seeds on top. Sounds like it's starting to simmer, so I think we are ready to enjoy. Post-lunch treat. I always need a little bit of an energy boost after lunch, so I made myself an oat milk pumpkin spice latte. Literally the easiest thing in the whole world if you have got pumpkin syrup and some pumpkin pie spice. I'm starting to really get to grips with our La Marzocco coffee machine, but I still prefer the Nespresso frother to get a really nice frothy coffee. And then this is 1/3 of a slice of pumpkin loaf, which Ben and Robin bought the full loaf yesterday for the roast, so I thought I'd have a little bit of that for my post-lunch sugar hit. Okay, we have lots of weird settings for today's vlog, but I just really couldn't be bothered to carry this upstairs just to bring it downstairs again, just to talk it through with you in my dressing room, which is where I would normally talk through beauty products and things like that. Basically, while I was enjoying my lunch, the postman arrived, and this is the most incredible delivery, and it is the Harrods 2021 Beauty Advent Calendar. So it looks like this. It is absolutely ginormous. Now, when this was first released, this sold out, but I believe that they are due a new drop on Thursday, which, if everything goes to plan, is the day that this video will go live. So hopefully, if this is something that you think you might like to purchase or hint to someone else to treat you to for Christmas, then hopefully timing-wise that should work well. Other beauty advent calendars that I love, I would say my favourite single brand advent calendar in beauty is definitely the Elemis one. I think if you know anybody that is an Elemis fan, then that's literally just such an amazing present to give to someone. It's a funny one because obviously you need to give it to them before the 1st of December really. But it's a nice pre-Christmas gift. I think it's a really lovely gift if you're invited over to someone's house for Christmas drinks or something. My birthday is at the end of November, so for me beauty advent calendars are a perfect gift timing wise. The Harrods one for me is often my favourite when it comes to like multi-brand calendars, and then obviously the Astrid and Miu one, which I think by now will be sold out, is my favourite non-beauty advent calendar. My battery is flashing, so I'm going to go and change that, and then I'll give you a little sneak peek as to a few of the products in here. We are joined by Charlie doing his plant maintenance in the background. What exactly is a weekly plant maintenance?
Well, I normally do this on a Saturday or a Sunday, but we ran out of time this weekend. So as I was saying, this one in particular is quite an expensive plant. I think it was over £100 from Patch. So what I do is I water them once a week with this amount of water with a bit of plant feed in there.
Right.
So there's that plant feed in there because they don't get a crazy amount of light. And then I read somewhere that the palms like a misting a couple of times a week, which is a bit like it sort of creates the humidity that they would normally have. So I go and do this.
Right. So there we have Charlie Dimmock Irons misting the palm in the background. My headband matches his top. Okay, so I've just undone just a random door. I happened to pick number 24, which is Christmas Eve, and beautifully wrapped, might I add, in a little H for Harrods navy pouch. These are actually really useful if you're like taking jewellery on holiday, or even if you're, I don't know, like I would probably collect acorns or something for an autumn table and put them in things like this. Love reusing little bits and bobs. But what's more exciting than the actual pouch is the product. So inside your Christmas Eve day is Charlotte Tilbury's Walk of No Shame luxury eyeshadow palette. I'm hoping this might be the one that Freddie had when we were in Bath, because it was the most beautiful shades. It probably won't be, because I think that one was brand new. Ooh, it might be, you know. It is the most gorgeous autumn or festive if you're going to do a burgundy Christmas eye. You've got some sparkles in there. And obviously this is very much a full size, would normally be full price product without crazy shades, because it's really annoying if you get a beauty advent calendar and then you get like a palette with blue eyeshadows. It really annoys me when brands do that, whereas I think everything in here is really the kind of thing that you'd actually buy, which is very important. So that's Christmas Eve. And these drawers are just absolutely gorgeous. It's got this kind of swirly, almost celestial pattern. It is an absolute beauty. I mean, imagine having this on display somewhere. Number... I'm not going to do 25 because, oh, maybe I will. I can't resist. Oh, what is this? Floral Street Fragrances Flowered by Powers. There's something else in here? So randomly, the product in Christmas Day doesn't fit in the pouch. So you've got the pouch, and then you've got this little selection of Floral Street mini fragrances. I have to say, I think they should have swapped that around, because I would be more excited about a full-size Charlotte Tilbury palette than I would about a selection of fragrances. But Floral Street is a very luxurious brand when it comes to fragrances. I maybe would have preferred one, maybe 100ml fragrance, but yeah, that's still a really, really lovely thing to receive on Christmas Day. And let's open up number 1. What would be the starting product? Feels like a candle, maybe. Oh. Oh my gosh. This is started. Okay, they should definitely swap this and Christmas Day around. This is the CEO. I've heard so many people raving about this. CEO Sunday Riley Vitamin C Moisturizer. Rich hydration cream with a little spatula on top. Everything in here is either full size or deluxe size, so you're not going to get any of those really annoying little minis, no silly stickers or anything. So I think it's a really good selection of products in here. So if you are on the lookout for a very luxurious beauty advent calendar for either yourself or a loved one, I will leave this link down below. Hopefully it's back in stock today. If not, I'd recommend maybe using like a Karma shop tagger on it so you can be notified as soon as it comes back in. But I will leave it linked down below, because I think of all the luxury multi-brand advent calendars, this one is this year's best. So I've just been at my laptop for the past couple of hours. Ooh, look at that lighting. Oh my goodness. Been at my laptop for the last couple of hours getting lots of work done. Mondays are always for admin. But I wanted to show you This may be very boring, but I thought I would just show you where our clothes steaming fridge, as I like to call it, has ended up. Because you may remember, if you are very good at keeping up with all the vlogs, that we did have our LG styler here in the pink room, and it was just literally in this corner. And obviously I had it out there so that I could shoot the content. By the time this video goes live, there should be the IGTV up on my channel, which was so fun to film. We did like a runway of outfits that I have freshened up using the styler, so I'll leave that link down below, or go and leave a white heart emoji on the IGTV if you went and watched it after this video. That would mean a lot to me. But yeah, basically it was of course too modern and too big to leave in this corner, but fortunately we have this magical cupboard, and we've never really known what to do with it because it's such, you guessed it, the LG styler is now inside. It's such a long cupboard. It's not really that useful. I guess we could have put shelves in there and made it into a linen cupboard. That actually probably would have been quite a good idea, but I don't think I ever would have wanted to have pushed anything right to the back because this house does have quite a lot of spider residence, and I basically would have always been too scared to push anything to the back of any shelves. There's nearly always a spider up there. It looks quite empty at the moment actually. So we had our electrician put a plug socket in this cupboard. I think it was actually quite easy because we do have electricity up here, so it's quite easy to chase it through. So now the LG styler is in here, which is the perfect use for this cupboard. It looks like it's pushed really far back, but that's so that we can open the door, and obviously I can just, there we go, I can just climb into the cupboard and get the garments. These are here are some pieces that I steamed earlier, some items from Provence, some dresses that I took with me that obviously I just could not be bothered to iron properly. They don't need properly ironing, they just need refreshing. They don't need washing and ironing properly because I only wore them once while I was out there. They just needed a quick refresh, so I had these on earlier in the day. A dress like this would take me like 45 minutes to iron, and because it's linen or like linen-ish material, I don't feel like it needs to be perfect. As you probably know, when you're steaming, it doesn't get out those like, it's a dog treat bell, it doesn't get out those like super deep set creases, but that is absolutely perfect for a linen dress. This dress I wore a couple of times while we were in Provence, and I just didn't feel like it needed hello, I just didn't feel like it needed to go through the washing machine, because every time you wash your clothes it does actually destroy them just a little bit, so it's better to wash your clothes as little as possible. So by putting it in the steam cupboard, it means it's sterilized, it's cleaned with steam, but it doesn't need to go through the washing machine, so a lot more sustainable. And again, my linen robe, I'll put a picture on the screen here of me wearing this in Provence, something that I would just never bother to iron. I mean, it's a robe at the end of the day, it just needed a refresh, so that's been up in the steam cupboard. Now here is a Borg gilet, firstly really bulky. I wouldn't be able to put much else in the washing machine with this. I don't think your coats need washing that regularly, and again, as I said, I try not to wash things unnecessarily, but I have worn this for a day out in London, and I always feel like if I've been on the tube with something, it just feels a little bit gross and I want to refresh things. So this is a perfect example of something that I can put in the steam cupboard to refresh it. Chunky cardigan as well. I think when you wash things like this regularly, it just ruins them. So these, and also my Hermes silk scarf, which has been up around my face on an aeroplane. It definitely just needs refreshing. These three are what's going to go in the cupboard next. So in my magical fashion fridge we have got the items. I would recommend, if you're popping in knitwear, to do up one of the buttons, because what this machine does is it just kind of vibrates and shakes everything around a little bit, and I have found with soft knitwear it can sometimes fall off the hangers and it just ends up in a crumpled heap at the bottom. So do things up if you can. With the Hermes silk scarf I've just used the trouser clipperer, technical term. And I'm just going to pop this on a, well, I'd better put it on the wool/knit setting. So this will steam it, clean it, and then dry it on a 27 minute cycle. Oh, it's telling me I need to fill the water. So that is these down here.
You having fun?
Yeah, mate. So what I've just done is emptied out the drainage tank and filled up the water tank so it's got some fresh water for the steaming. And now let's try again. Wool setting, 27 minutes. And there we go. Good evening, my darlings. Yes, you guessed it. I have got my Reiki light behind the camera again because I think this is just what it's going to be like now as we go into autumn, winter, and I just can't. I was watching back some of my old Vlogmas videos, although it does make me so shiny, and the lighting in the kitchen was just so yellow because if I put on our overhead light, then is that any better? No, I just look like a pumpkin. So I'm just gonna have to be artificially illuminated for any evening, and I mean it's literally like 6 o'clock, any evening vlogging from now on. But I am hungerbar, which I think is German for hungry, but I might have completely made that up. I'm sure in school we used to sing a song and it was like, alles klar, hungerbar, ja ja ja, ha ha ha. But alles klar, everything's okay. Hungerbar, but I'm hungry. Ja, ja, ja. Yes, yes, yes. Ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. So that is just the weirdest song ever. So maybe I've completely made it up. I have been known to do things like that before. Anyway, I digress. So I am going to make my dinner using, I'm not sure if I'll use the big pot. I probably will actually, yeah, I probably will, but I'll definitely be using my always pan, literally my most used pan in the entire kitchen. And what I'm going to be making this evening, I actually had no intention of making this until this morning. I went on Half Baked Harvest's website / blog, and I just love all of her recipes. They all look so mouth-watering. And this one actually sounds a bit gross. It is French onion soup pasta. Yeah, I think it sounds disgusting, but the pictures of it looked amazing. So I will leave a link to that blog post down below. I think I'm actually going to pop Squid Games on in the background while I cook this because I think it's going to take me a good half an hour or so, and there is no way that Charlie's going to want to watch Squid Games. He really doesn't like that kind of thing, but I'm quite intrigued, so I'm going to pop that on my laptop and get started with my French onion soup pasta. Before I start cooking and messing everything up, I thought I would show you my perfect pot in the 3 different colours. It actually also comes in blue, but I thought that these 3 would suit our living spaces the best. Obviously, I don't need 3 in the kitchen, but we have got Straw Top Cottage to think about, and we like our guests to be able to experience the things that we rave about here at home. So I thought, why not get a couple of extras for the rentals? So here you can see we've got the colours Steam, and I think this is a new colour called Char, which obviously looks like a charcoaly black, and they have also brought out the Always pan in this char colour as well, which is really, really chic and just kind of like a classic. It looks like a ceramic kind of pot, but obviously you've got the benefits of it being really nice and lightweight. So yeah, we now have the full collection. Of course, my favourite is still the spice colour, this lovely pinky tone. It's a really nice warm, almost terracotta pink. So I got the perfect pot to match my Always pan in the spice colour, and this will be the set that we leave at the house. Well, this is rather miserable compared to my summer outings to collect fresh herbs. I've had to come out in the rain with my torch, but I need some sage and thyme. Luckily it does grow even when the summer sun is over. Oops, I did however manage to bring some of the soil up with me. about 20, well, maybe 30 minutes since I last spoke to you, and this is where we're currently at with the dinner. So to summarize, I did the onions in butter. This is not a healthy dinner, so Charlie's weekday health kick is going to have to take a little break on this Monday evening. So we had the onions caramelized in butter, and you're meant to use white wine, but I didn't actually have one open, so I used some apple cider vinegar instead. Hope that'll be okay. And then I added the herbs and some garlic in here, and then vegetable stock, the pasta. What else did we add? Worcester sauce, and then towards the end I've added some cream and some, what else? Oh, a little bit of cheese. You're meant to add Gruyere, but I didn't have any, so I added some cheddar. I have just sampled a bit, and it is rather delicious. I popped a little bit of prosciutto in the oven. This is all again following the recipe, and you're meant to break this and some burrata into the pan for the finish. I also added some broccoli florets onto the little steaming tray that comes with the Always pan, so Charlie can have a little bit of greenery. Hopefully he'll be home in the next few minutes, and then dinner is ready to be served. Gosh, let me move my mucky spoon out of the way, although I must say this spoon rest has come in very handy. I'm not gonna lie guys, this is smelling and tasting, I've just sampled a little bit, absolutely delicious. Annoyingly, I've just run out of black pepper in all three of my pepper grinders, so that's very annoying. Hopefully it's peppery enough, but oh my gosh, one pan French onion soup pasta with burrata and prosciutto. I think this is a triumph, and so nice to do something different with all of my favorite ingredients, pasta, cream, cheese. Oh, so delicious. So I'm going to just keep this on a low heat until Charlie gets home, which should be any moment now. He's just had a sports massage and is normally home at 1:45. Gosh, and then I cannot wait to dig in. Good morning, my darlings. Definitely not in the Cotswolds anymore. Charlie and I have come into London this morning. We have got a really exciting shoot morning with Barbour. They're actually launching fragrances, and Charlie and I have got a shoot with them here at the Rosewood this morning. I have done a couple of shots with Kat already, and now Charlie is getting his little bits. This little jumper that I'm wearing as almost like a neckerchief actually. I think it looks really nice styled like this, is from Barbour. It's got these nice little elbow patches, and it's got the same on the neckline, which looks really nice. And I've got my new diamond quilted Barbour coat that I'm styling in some of the shots as well. So we're just getting a few snaps here in the hotel room. This is one of the suites at the Rosewood. It's so gorgeous. The lighting in here is quite crazy for photos though, but I think Kat has smashed it. And then we're gonna head outside. There is the most amazing, it must be like 1940s, massive Bentley car parked outside. It is one of the most amazing vehicles I've ever seen. So hopefully we might be able to get some shots with that in. And then I've got a really nice day planned with Robin. We are doing a little bit of shopping later on, and then we're heading to experience, I think it's a facial with Oskia, and then an afternoon tea at the Mandarin Oriental. So a very lovely day. A little behind the scenes. How epic is this car? So cool. This is the courtyard of the Rosewood Hotel. It is such a beautiful place. I think they might be doing their festive outdoor dinners in here again this year. So many great angles to get our photos. Inspo in the Ralph Lauren store. We've come to the ground floor, and there's this lovely central table. We were just saying we could get some boxes from an antique shop and create a similar setup. Okay, so we might be getting blown away, but the important thing is I found Robin. Do you know what I laugh about so much, that clip when we were at Time?
Oh yeah,
and I went like
I was
this,
thinking about that the other day.
Tracy forgot
and I
my
was like,
name.
was I supposed to say the name or was Josie?
Oh dear. But we are here to do a little bit of shopping now. When was the last time you came into London, darling? Shopping.
It was before the wedding, for a wedding dress appointment.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think only like a week before, so maybe late August.
Wow. So we've got a lot of catching up to do of autumn collections. We just had a quick look in Ralph Lauren. They've got some nice home bits, and next stop we're going to go into the David Morris press day and try on some diamonds. Excited? So we're about to go into David Morris and we bumped into lovely Emma, and Emma has a YouTube channel, Emma Rigo, so it's all about empowering women and fashion confidence.
Absolutely. So it's about women on the street, women to celebrate, and I think it's such a special thing because every woman puts on fashion every single day to feel special.
Yes.
But to have someone stop them and say, wow, you look amazing, that is exactly what I'm here for.
Such a good feeling.
Follow me on my Instagram, join the community, it's Emma Rigo Fashion.
Amazing. Thanks, Emma. You look fabulous.
You've got a bit of Oscar done around you.
Oh, gorgeous.
We've got the flares.
Love it. I love a bit of YouTube inception. This is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Have a fabulous day, Emma.
I know that they're antique, but we originally made the rose cut collection.
Okay, we're doing the very important trying on, and Robin was just giving me a really good fact about her rose cut antique jewellery. What were you saying to me?
So apparently rose cut is an antique cut, and it was designed specifically to dazzle in candlelight, so it's for evenings, and I think it's Victorian or Georgian, so it's quite an older cut, or maybe even older than that, I'm not sure.
It could be.
But it was the original diamond cut.
So beautiful, and we've just seen these beautiful pieces from the David Morris rose cut collection, and Robin just said that matches your engagement ring.
Engagement ring. She needs those as her wedding jewelry.
They just catch the light so beautifully. What do we think? Okay, so we finished up in David Morris, and next we're gonna just have a little browse in Cartier. As you do, I'd quite like to try on some lovely watches. Let's see if we're allowed in. So we have been into David Morris, yes. Do you have any favourites in there?
I did like the Egyptian collection, that was really nice too.
That was
and
their
then
new
of course
collection.
all of the massive diamonds everywhere. They were all so beautiful.
You didn't try any of the ginormous ones, did you?
No.
No, next time, next time. And then we've just been into Cartier because it's someone's 30th coming up very soon, and we just thought we'd do a little bit of browsing, specifically watches. Yes, what would be your dream luxury watch?
Ooh, I'm not sure. I do like the Rolexes with the mother of pearl face, but I do love the Cartier, the classic one, which I think is a little bit older.
Robin said when we were in there, she would imagine a French grandma wearing it. And what did you say? Your quote was so much better than that.
So if I am trying to decide whether something is classic and will stand the test of time, then I like to imagine, would a French grandmother be wearing that piece now?
Yes.
Then that helps. And I have a friend with a French grandmother, so I just imagine her.
Oh my gosh, see, Robin is
work.
the best person for shopping for lovely jewellery bits.
I am an enabler a little bit, so I do like to encourage people to treat themselves.
I know, but I think you're the perfect partner for jewellery and watch shopping. So we're going to make our way up on the street now, and then we've got afternoon tea at the Mandarin Oriental. Lovely day.
excited. I'm so hungry.
Me too. Let's get some food. Tea time at the Mandarin Oriental. This is Madame's first official London afternoon tea, is that right? Yes, and true to form, we've got chips. How do you rate them compared to, well, on a scale of McDonald's to Double Red Duke, where do they stand?
I'd give them a 7.
A 7, pretty strong chips. And we have got our little scones up here. We've got a really nice selection of sandwiches. There was a goat's cheese and walnut, a Hereford, which is my old hometown, roast beef, and some other lovely flavors. And then we've got the pastries down here, which all look absolutely beautiful. Apparently the little mushroom is like a Kinder Bueno. Yum! Bon appetit! Okay, darlings, it's a few hours later. Quite literally, Robin and I just indulged so much for that afternoon tea. It was absolutely delicious. And we are about to head upstairs to one of the suites here. I think we have to go upstairs. I'm not sure what's happening down here in the spa. We've very kindly actually been invited to try out a really heavenly sounding treatment because Oskia and Alice Templey have joined forces to create what they call the Love Candle. And I actually have one at home, so I'm going to be recreating this in my very own spa in the Cotswolds. But we've got a lovely treatment to experience this collaboration to... Oops, sorry, stop. We've just got to the spa and we've had some nice warming hand towels. We've got a little tea. They've got some amazing products here. Lots of Oskia up there. They've got so many of my favourite brands. Consultation form, thank you. And Robin and I, before our treatment, we're going to enjoy the spa facilities. So we've been bought these little slippers, and these are actually some of my favourite Oskia products, the vitamin C capsules. They are so lovely to use in the morning. They smell heavenly. Hello again, darlings. It is a couple of hours later again. I feel like I said that earlier, but Robin and I are both feeling very, very relaxed. I feel like when you come out of a massage, the scarier your hair looks, the better the treatment must have been. But that was not what we were expecting at all. So it was actually pretty much a 2-hour, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to ignore my scary hair. I look like a member of Jedward. It was pretty much a 2-hour treatment. And we were giggling so much at the beginning. So it's obviously designed for couples. And we had to go into this room, sit down on these warm kind of like stone chairs, and then the whole room filled with steam. Robin and I are wearing these really sexy like spa knickers, and we mangled them into bras as well. Don't ask. Don't ask how, it's Robin's idea. And then we were sat in this room and it was getting steamier and steamier and steamier. And then suddenly, oh yes, and we were scrubbing ourselves with a salt scrub, and it was like makeshift underwear, scrubbing yourself. It was really nice. Definitely an experience we will never forget, that is for sure. And then suddenly the room just like lit up, and these jets either side of us started blasting. Luckily not too cold, but like fresh water. Oh my gosh, we were just laughing so much. And then it was a full body massage and then a facial using Oskia products, and specifically the new Love Candle, which is Oskia and Templey London. And it was just heavenly, wasn't it? It was. And Robin can be quite sensitive to a few scents, but that was perfect for you, wasn't it? Because it was all lovely natural scents. Oh my gosh, so we're so relaxed now. I would highly recommend that. Robin and I are both saying we're going to try and book in. Yeah, it was just lovely and so nice to have a long treatment. Like, how often do you really just... Yeah, and something a little bit... Exactly. No, just something a little bit different. So I need to make myself look semi-decent so I don't petrify whoever I'm sat next to on the train, and I will see you when we get back home. When there's only one macaroni cheese left at Pret, you know it's a sign that that's what you've got to have for your dinner. Hello again, my darlings. Back home again, and it is now the next day, but I didn't want to end the vlog without coming back and not looking as scary as I did at the end of yesterday. I'm actually already vlogging the next vlog that you'll see, but I realised I hadn't signed off properly, and I want to give another shout out to the treatment yesterday, because that, honestly, I could not recommend that any more highly, but especially to go with a loved one, whether it's a mum, a sister, a best friend, a husband, a boyfriend. I think it's such a nice couples treatment. It's got that fun element, like that the showering experience at the beginning was so funny, and then just so relaxing at the spa, and the spa at the Mandarin Oriental is just absolutely heavenly. So it's just a really nice day, and as I mentioned, it was to celebrate the launch of the Oskia and Temple London Love Candle. And this is what the packaging looks like. And let me read you the ingredients, because no word of a lie, I think this is the best smelling candle. And obviously, so a massage candle, you light it and then you can pour the wax. It sounds a bit gross, but you can pour the wax and use that as the massage oil. So it's beeswax, soybean and coconut oil. Light the wick, and once melted, our blend of oils and waxes will soften, nourish and hydrate the skin. And I must say, I do feel like I'm glowing today after this. Top notes are dominated by florals including rose and amyris, combined with deeper musky patchouli. I think it's patchouli that I really oh, and also the base notes of cedarwood, sandalwood and guaiac wood. Oh, I can smell it from here. It is so heavenly, and it's absolutely beautiful as well. I actually can't wait to light this, because I would like to use this as my makeup brush holder when it's done, because it's just so lovely, and my makeup drawer is just overflowing with brushes and things. That smells. I'd wear that as a perfume. That is how good it is. So it looks like this. Oh my gosh. That is the best smelling candle I have ever smelt. And what else have they popped in? Rest Day Comfort Cream with amino acids, probiotics and ceramides from Oskia Skincare. What is this? The World of Temple London Somerset. A little note card from Temple, some information about Oskia Skincare. Ooh! The Somerset Potion, Apple Spirit and Cherry Liqueur. That sounds lovely. And oh yes, so this is the Quartz facial tool. I'm presuming it's the tool that they used in the massage yesterday, and it was so lovely how that felt. And I'm very much getting into my facial massage. So what an absolute treat. Thank you very much to Oskia and Temple London and the Mandarin Oriental. I'm going to leave you with this jumper dress, because I just opened this up today. Excuse the mess, I haven't had a tidy up yet. And this is exactly what I have been looking for when it comes to a really nice, affordable jumper dress. I think it was around the £35 mark, in a nice, fairly dark colour, so I don't need to worry about getting makeup stains on everything, because I do. And it's just a nice length for wearing around the house. I'll show you properly in the next video, because I'm about to film that. But I will leave this jumper linked down below, because I'd hate for it to sell out before you guys can get your hands on it. So darlings, I'm going to end the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye!